What's your Tyler back with the Retro Reviews here on Tyler's Retro Reviews. And also, finally got a new laptop, also, by the way. But still, no Raw or SmackDown reviews for the time being. But sometime in the early summer, I'll probably bring them back. I mean, I just want to give those a break because of the whole WrestleMania thing. And I was on my older laptop, but let's talk about May reviews now. There's two are not really in the month of May, but I want to do them anyways. So, whatever. So, Backlash is a week away, so why not do the 2000 edition, which is 25 years ago? I know, I don't know why I'm doing that, but whatever. April 30th at the MCI Center in Washington, D.C. So, that's the city where most of the Starcades were. 97, 98, 99, and 2000, which might see at the end of the year. Maybe. Actually, you will. So, we get the big rematch between Rock and Triple H. The match that should have been at WrestleMania, but they went with the Fatal 4-Way instead. If you know, you know. Regardless of that. But Steve Austin is back now, ever since he got run over at Survivor Series, and this wasn't a real return, by the way. He wouldn't come back officially until Unforgiven in September. I'll talk about that one probably in September. So there's that. There might see a Fall Brawl War Games also. But anyways, that's not that. Which this lets the go home SmackDown before this, where Triple H and the McMahons were trying to, and Stephanie also were trying to find Steve Austin, but they were getting tricked by The Rock. Like a bunch of beer cans, and there's a cardboard cutout of Stone Cold Steve Austin, and a rattlesnake. And then Stone Cold, was in a crane where he destroyed the DX Express, which that is basically they reenact that spot from SmackDown 2 Know Your Role, where you play the season mode in that in the first year, where you unlock Stone Cold Steve Austin in there. In the first pay-per-view we go through, which is Backlash, basically. But yeah. But let's get on to Backlash 2000. It's one of the best B pay-per-views ever. And yes, I did review this 5 years ago, but let's be fair here, I got better at all that. But anyways, next week it'll be Slamboree 2000, by the way. So there's that. Saturday I'll do the Black Adam movie review, and then Sunday you will see the return of the Dumpster Fires. I won't tell you what it is. It's going to be a surprise. And then Tuesday, I might do a countdown list again. Who the hell knows? Or maybe one of those late breaking news things, but I don't know what it ever would be. But those will be on my main channel again. You're not going to see Raw or SmackDown reviews yet. Let them breathe for now, and then you'll see them again. But anyways, we start for the WWF Tag Team Championships. Edge and Christian defeats Road Dogg and X-Pac to retain the Tag Team Championships. It's weird to see Road Dogg and X-Pac teaming up. We always know the New Age Outlaws were the more of that, but then again, Billy Gunn is still out with an injury. So, sucks to be him. still, pretty good tag team championship match. Um, and Edge and Christian retaining was the right move, but this is mostly a heel match, but still, I give it a 7 out of 10. Again, we're doing these in, like, coast, but still. And then next up is for the WWF Light Heavyweight Championship. Here's a little trivia for you. When was the last time the Light Heavyweight Championship was defended on a pay-per-view up until this? If your answer is Judgment Day 1998, you win a prize. We might talk about that later on. But anyways, Dean Malenko defeats Scotty 2 Hotty to retain the Light Heavyweight Championship. I mean, this was a good match, but again, does anyone even care about the Light Heavyweight Championship? Not that much, really. But regardless, I give this a 7.5 out of 10, Again, like, the light heavyweights were combatant to the WCW Cruiserweights when it was introduced, but light heavyweight championship was not as successful as that. But again, 2000 where the belt went to shit, really. Anyways, then we get the Big Boss Man and Bobby King defeats the APA. Wrong team won in this match. APA should have won this, but this just should have been like the Sunday Night Heat pre-show match. Yeah, 4 out of 10 I'll give it. But anyways. Then we had a 6-pack hardcore match for the Hardcore Championship. Crash Holly defeats Hardcore Holly, Jeff and Matt Hardy, Saturn, and Taz. Taz, by the way, before this, the story of Mike Awesome leaving ECW with the chance to go to WCW. They filed an injunction, and then Taz won the title off of Mike Awesome. A WWF contract wrestler versus a WCW contract wrestler for the ECW title. You know that story. This match was fun, but there was a weird dead spot during the match. But, it was a fun hardcore match. A 6.5 I'll give it. So, there's that. Then at the Big Show, who was cosplaying as Hulk Hogan, which, yeah, defeats Kurt Angle. I mean, this was just a comedy, funny-ass match. Yeah, Big Show, after losing in the 4-way at WrestleMania, he wants to be entertaining. And he was cosplaying as other wrestlers, which it was funny. But then this led to the feud with Shane McMahon, the whole, which way did he go? Oh, which way did he go? Which, more of that when I talk about Judgment Day at that. Yes, we're going to talk about that one around this month also. I mean, 4 out of 10, but entertained for 5 points for that. For the entertainment of it. Yeah. Then we had Test and Albert defeating the Dudley Boys. This was just Trish playing mind games with Bubba Ray Dudley, who, the whole, all Bubba Ray puts many women through tables, and Trish was, well, afterwards, the match was what it was, 4.5 I'll give it. But then afterwards, Bubba Ray Dudley did put Trish through the table, and yeah. And then afterwards, when the Trish is put into the ambulance. Afterwards, Eddie and China roll up in a 70s car and they drove to the arena, which this is I want to say a prototype to Eddie's later entrance with the Lowrider. But yeah, that's the next match for the European Championship. Eddie Guerrero defeats S.A. Rios. I don't remember this guy at all, but you can watch Marky D's Ring of the Hawk video on that. Still, it was a decent little match. I give it a 6.5. I'll give it. Anyways, next up is for the Intercontinental Championship. Chris Benoit defeats Chris Jericho by disqualification to retain the Intercontinental Championship. But this feud continued into, the submission match and then the SummerSlam match. The finish coming, Benoit was going to do the diving headbutt onto Jericho, but Jericho used the belt as a shield and it cost him the match, and there's that. But by the way, Jericho quote won the WWF Championship before this, but it was stripped from the record books. But yeah. But still, it was a great match. 8 out of 10, I'll give it. And then finally, the main event for the WWF Championship with Shane McMahon as the special guest referee. It was the Dex Deck against The Rock. Like I said, Austin wasn't there yet, but The Rock did defeat Triple H to win the WWF Championship, righting the wrong from WrestleMania. Rock hit Triple H in the Family Jewels. We got a rock bottom Triple H through the Spanish announce table. But then Shane tells him to don't do it. Rock gives both Triple H and Shane a double rock bottom through the announce table, and Vince's reaction to it was fucking priceless. And then afterwards, Austin did came out. He chair shotted Patterson and Briscoe, and then Vince took it, and then Triple H was the last one to take it, and then Rock hits the people's elbow. Referee Earl Hebner comes in, 1, 2, 3, because in storyline he was kayfabe fired, and yeah, 8.5 I'll give this match. And then Rock and Austin celebrate at the end of it. Austin, like I said, did not come back officially until September, where we don't know who did. Still, this was a fantastic event. And no complaints there. I give it a 7.5 out of 10 for my overall show of it. And next week will be WCW Slamboree 2000. The Triple Cage has come to that event. And then Saturday I'll do the Black Adam movie review. And Sunday will be the Dumpster Fires host there. That's on my main channel, by the way. Subscribe to the notification bell on that one so you will see that. And like this video, comment below, subscribe to this channel here also, and you will see that review next week. There, goodbye.